Hi YouTube, it's Miss Coco Locks here, finally with my first official video for this channel. Thank you to my pre-subscribers. I don't have any videos up yet, but you guys decided to subscribe anyway. I appreciate that. This is a really brief lock intro update. I'm in my first apartment, so that's what you see behind me. This is the first chance I get that I'm here by myself and that I have free time to do this. So first things first, I started my locks March 19th, 2011. Today is August 25th, so it has been a little over 5 months now that I have had my locks. So far so good. It was interesting because I started my locks right before I went to Uganda this summer. That was the best choice because I don't know how I would have managed my loose natural hair while there. It was a lot easier and simpler to have my locks to be able to just go. So that was okay. As far as maintenance, it was very minimal. I washed it maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. And I think I retwisted it twice while I was there, but I wasn't able to retwist it in the way that I would have liked to because I didn't bring my lock and twist gel, nor did I bring clips. So what I did was I would twist individual locks, 3, and then I would braid them up so that they stayed there. And I did it right after I washed it, so my hair was wet. I let it dry overnight, and then I would have a braid out in the morning. And that would hold fairly well. Then once I got back, I washed it. I got back August 1st. I washed it that day, and then I didn't retwist it until the next day, which was a Tuesday, and then I didn't finish retwisting it until that Wednesday. So officially I finished retwisting my hair the way I wanted to on August 3rd. I'm looking at my calendar right now. And then, okay. So here's my issue. I'm used to washing my loose natural hair once a week. And I soon learned once I started locks that if you retwist it and then you wash it, let's say the next day, it's going to unravel. It seems fairly straightforward, but I honestly didn't know that. I hadn't ever really thought of that until I started my locks. So I learned that I could wash it once a week if I wanted to, but the retwist wouldn't last very long, and I'd like for my hair to stay looking nice for as long as possible. The problem is that my hair will tell me when it's dirty, so when it's dirty it starts itching and it just feels gross, and I know I need to wash it. That was beginning to happen within about 2 weeks of me retwisting my hair. And I held out for about, how long was it? 1, 2, 3 weeks, I guess. I held out for about 3 weeks, and then I just had to wash it. I wanted to retwist on the 4th week because it really wasn't in need of a retwist. It was looking fine. And I thought, you know, by 3 weeks, the roots that have been retwisted, they were holding fairly well. I used Organics Root Stimulator Lock and Twist Gel, and the roots were holding up fine. It was a nice soft hold. And then I washed it, and it basically came out. And so what I did was I didn't like how much of new growth it was, because it wasn't actually new growth. It was new growth that had been retwisted plus the new growth on top of that. So it looked like I had a bunch of new growth, but it wasn't. It was just that my previous retwist had unraveled. So that was frustrating, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I interlocked the ones that were drastically too much new growth for my personal taste. And that's the other thing I meant to say. This past summer, before I came up with that technique for retwisting my hair, I was going to just interlock the whole summer, and then I realized I wouldn't really want my lock pattern to change or be too thin. So I decided to come up with that technique of twisting and then braiding it so that it stayed. So I interlocked a few of the roots that were far too large, especially in the front. And that's where I'm at right now. I haven't retwisted it. I plan on possibly retwisting it this weekend if I'm not too busy, but I'm not sure. So that's what I need advice on, is if you like your hair to look fresh and mildly neat at the least, but you also like to wash your hair and keep it clean, how do you balance that? Or what's a good time window after your retwist for you to wash your hair? Because I like to wash my hair often, and I don't want to interlock it because I like it better the way it looks when I palm roll it. The other thing is that I started my locks with 2-strand twists, so I'll give you a close-up. So you can see, like, the other thing, I can't accurately tell how much new growth I've had since the retwist because of it unraveling after I washed it. Also after that wash, I combined a few locks. These two, well, it's now one. I combined this at the beginning of my journey, so like March, April. But then most recently I combined, this one is combined. I don't know if you can see, but it's two. And this one here is after I combined it. So I like the fullness of it after the retwist is old, but I also like the neatness of a fresh retwist, and so I'm having issues with that. They still kind of look like 2-strand twists. That's the one thing I don't like. To me, they don't look like locks. They look like old 2-strand twists that need to be redone. And so, I don't know. And I kind of regret combining this one only because if you can see how large the base of this is, you see how large that is? And then if you see the rest of the locks on my hairline, they're like small to medium size. But the thing is, the lock itself is the same size, but the base of it is huge, and I don't know why that is. But here's a 360. And yes, I started these locks on my own, like I said, with 2-strand twists, so all of myself. So yeah, I'm about 5 months in. I'm glad I can finally make my official video on this channel. If you have any questions about my locks, feel free to ask me. If you have any advice regarding the questions I asked, please post a comment or leave me a message. I'm excited to start documenting my loc journey on this channel. Thanks for watching. Peace.